Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Mercedes and this is the Free Life with Mercedes. I switched to Mint Mobile. I just want to say right ahead of time, this is not a sponsored video, this is not an ad, this is not a promotional of any kind. You guys know that I like to be completely transparent with you guys in different ways that I like to save money. I also am a firm believer that if something is saving me money, and it was something that I was personally unsure of, then I would like to pass on that information. So good, bad, ugly, I am going to tell you guys, this is my review of it. I've never talked to Ryan Reynolds. I've never talked to anybody from Mint except from when I set up my account. So this is not an advertisement at all. This is not, an ad. This is just, I did this and I want you guys to know about it. So a few months back, well, actually, I got to back up even more. I've been hearing about Mint Mobile for years. You see Ryan Reynolds looking all good on the commercial and being all funny. And I was like, is this real? And especially when you heard how low the plans were. But I did not know anybody that had Mint Mobile. So the problem is a lot of times I'll hear of these really great things, but I personally don't know anybody that has it. And so then I go on YouTube and I'll hear somebody saying something, but they're being paid. So I sometimes question, one, are they really using that membership? Does it really work the way that they say? And also, I don't want to sound distrustful, but I don't know that person. You guys who have been watching me, I seem like a real honest lady, and I am, but at the end of the day, you've never sat face to face with me at dinner. So there still is that level of like, is it really what's going on, what they're saying? But I can assure you that I will give an honest review and tell you how I feel about it. So I want to say in late March, I finally made the decision, you know what, I'm going to switch to Mint Mobile. I had Sprint I've had Sprint always. I got my first cell phone, I want to say I was 17, so 07, and I was on my parents' plan and they had Sprint. And then when I got married, he had Sprint and I had Sprint, so we made an account together. Then when I was going through my divorce, we separated plans, but T-Mobile had bought or incorporated Sprint. I don't really know. All I know is that we went to the Sprint store and the guy said, you're on T-Mobile now. And I was like, okay, whatever. I was like, as long as I've got my own cell phone plan, I don't care. So for the last 4 years or so, I've had T-Mobile, and I got a plan that was $75 a month, and I only paid $70 because I got a $5 deduction for having auto pay. Now, don't get me started. I think that is way too much for a cell phone. And I do have a friend, I think she's got like Boost Mobile or something like that, but it's like she's got I don't know if she has to or she chooses to buy the cards or whatever, or if she even is still doing that. I remember her talking about that one time. But everybody else I know has like Verizon or what have you. So I really didn't want to be buying a plan every month or a card, or like I said, I don't even know if they still do that. I know they did at some point. I just want to pay my bill and like move on and not have to worry about it. So I told Brandon that I was considering Mint Mobile and that I'd done some research on it, and they had a 3-month introductory plan. So for $45, I got 3 months of unlimited. So I went ahead and gave it a try, and it was great. Like, they used T-Mobile's towers, which I was already on T-Mobile. So I haven't had any issues. Now, the only thing is because you're a Mint Mobile, then you get downgraded. It's like a less priority thing in busy times. But to tell you the truth, because of where I live, that had already happened a couple of times. There was a couple of times where I tried to send a text and it didn't send right away. And this is when I had T-Mobile. So in the time that I've had Mint, I've had it happen, I think, twice. But that's not really that big of a deal because that was already happening when I had T-Mobile and was paying much more. So I did the 3-month. I only had those 2 little instances. But then when I clicked on the text again, it sent. So it wasn't like an outage or anything like that. It was just more like, oh, that didn't send it again. Not a big deal. So as of July 1st, I became a full member of Mint Mobile. And something that I really like is that for the best deal, you can pay the year in advance. So what I did was, after a little bit more research, texts and calls are unlimited no matter what plan on Mint Mobile that you're on. But the thing that you're paying for is the gigabytes of data. So I went ahead and got the 15 gigabytes of data, which is $20 a month. And so far it's been working great, because when I'm at home or at my parents' house or at any of my clients' house, I am on that internet. So I'm not using data. So the only time I'm using data is if I'm at the grocery store or I'm hiking or walking or something like that. But for me, for the vast majority of the time, I have access to Wi-Fi for free on my phone. So I didn't need a bunch of data. And so far, it's been working great. There's 21 days left in the cycle, and I still have 14 point something gigabytes out of 15. So it's really working out great for me. So I did write it down. So the plan is $20 a month for 25 gigabytes. And remember, texts and calls are unlimited. And so to pay the year, to get the best possible deal, I paid $263.73. So that includes Virginia taxes, and it was also like a lost phone something or other. But the really cool thing that I really like is when you pay, it'll say, this is for the year of cell phone service, this is the tax, like the local taxes, and like this one is something, and it says exactly what it is, and it's broken down. So $263.73 divided by 12 comes out to $21.97 a month. So I was paying $70 a month. And it was supposed to be $75, but I was paying $70 because of the $5 deduction. So that is a savings of $48 a month, which comes out to be $576 a year in savings, which is absolutely crazy. And something else too is, so I'm good till next July. I don't have to pay a cell phone bill till next July, which is insane and totally cool. And not just that, but let's say I get a little bit extra money or want to pay a little bit towards next year, you can. Now, as far as prices going up and all that, I don't really know, but we're going to just ride this train until the wheels fall off, because I know that people were talking about Mint had been bought by somebody. I don't know anything about that, to be honest, but I have had no problems. The only thing I was a little weary about was there is no store to go to, but I did have to call Mint to make sure that the phone was changed over. And I'm not tech savvy at all, so I was a little bit concerned about that, but you keep your phone connected to the other thing and before you switch it over, and they explain the whole thing to you. And I got to keep my phone number, which was really awesome. I've had the same cell phone number since I was 17, since I got my first phone. So I'm not about changing my phone number, and I didn't have to. I have an older phone. The thing that I'm recording on is another older phone that T-Mobile had said wouldn't update anymore, and it really wouldn't. So I keep it for filming purposes, and then this is my regular cell phone. But I don't pay anything for this phone that I'm talking into right now. I paid that one off, and I had it for a few years until it wouldn't update anymore. And it's hooked up to the internet, and I just use it for stuff like this. But I'm hoping I won't have to get a new cell phone anytime soon. But you can buy a cell phone through Mint, or you can get a cell phone from some other service and link it up. So I took my phone that I got from T-Mobile, I owned it outright, and I was able to transfer it over. And then let's say something happens to my phone, I can either buy a phone through Mint, or I can get one from wherever and transfer the information over just like you would anyplace else. Now, granted, I haven't done that yet, but that's supposedly how it's supposed to work. If there was any kind of drama with that, when and if it happens, I would definitely let you guys know. But I would really encourage you guys to look into Mint Mobile. The only thing is you want to make sure that you're getting the right kind of data, because a lot of people talk about like the $15 plan, and I want to say that's like 5 gigabytes or something like that, and that might not be enough for you, but they have lots of different plans. Because the completely unlimited data one, I think, is like $30 or $35 a month, which still is a significant savings if you're spending $70 on a cell phone plan. And I know people that spend a lot more than that. So just take that information and do what you will with it. Always do your own research. Don't be afraid to call Mint or Boost or what is it? Something cellular, I don't remember what it is, and call and ask them questions and watch reviews, paid and unpaid, and see what is going to work best for you. But there's no reason to be paying those kind of cell phone prices if you don't have to, and honestly, it works. It was seamless. It hasn't been an issue at all. So I hope that helps you guys. Please consider subscribing to my channel. If you did not know, I have an Instagram, The Frugal Life of Mercedes. Until next time, guys, bye.